doctor gonna write? Together we will fight.
Chael Sonnen says that he knows that Ilia Taporia versus Armen Serukian is what the UFC wants to do. I'm not sharing my opinion as what Chael says. I'm sharing the fact. It's Ilia versus Armen. That's 100% the plan. That's 100% the fight that Armen Serukian says he does not want to take next. He doesn't think that Armen could make it to the fight. He's worried that he may not make it to the fight because he pulled out of his fight with Makhachev at the last minute. UFC, I thought, didn't like Armen Serukian because of that, but maybe he's gotten into their good graces after making way for UFC 317 as a backup. So it'll be interesting if, obviously, Armen wants to fight. If the UFC wants it too, then that's 2 against 1 against Taporia, who does not want it. So there's a bit of a conflict there. Armen Serukian seems to back up Chael Sonnen's assertion. He claims that there's about a 70% chance that he's going to fight Ilia Taporia next. He also adds, I'm the #1 contender. We're only negotiating with the UFC about a title fight right now. Serukian, known for his wrestling and ground control, may look to take the fight to the ground and neutralize the striking of Taporia. Taporia, with his elite boxing and knockout power, would likely keep the fight standing, where he can use combos and footwork to outstrike Serukian. If Serukian wins, probably by decision. If Taporia wins, decent chance of a KO or decision. Martin Budat, who's ranked number 12 in the heavyweight division, was not re-signed by the UFC following his decision win over Buchecha last week at UFC Abu Dhabi. Despite having a 7-1 record in the organization and winning 3 in a row, Budat was disappointed about that. He thought after his win, he secured his position in the organization to get a new contract, but he did not. He thinks that his tendency to win fights by decision rather than finishes and have a more exciting fight style with finishes contributed to the UFC not signing him.
Like, we were celebrating after the win, and I found out like last Wednesday, I believe it was like Wednesday, I got a call from a manager that UFC will not extend the contract with us. So it was pretty rough.
Yeah, what was your reaction?
I was really upset and very sad about it because I love UFC, and I was hoping to get re-signed. Yeah, so I was sad for the situation.
Was there any sort of negotiation? Did they offer something that your team didn't like, or was it just, hey, we're going to go in a different direction?
Yeah, there was like no negotiation. I also, to make it clear, I wasn't asking for more money and anything. I was like, I can like wait for some match to come up. But I didn't ask for anything. Only thing I asked was to resign me.
Sure, you would have been happy to resign at the same amount that your last fight contract was on.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That was the thing I was like telling my managers.
Sure.
Communicating.
And were they told any specific reason? Like, did the UFC say the reason why we're not going to re-sign him is because of X, Y, and Z?
Like only thing like I was told was they don't have any fight for me right now, so they will not extend like my contract.
Okay. You believe that? You believe that's the reason?
I think there are like more reasons behind that. The main reason is like some of my fights weren't so attractive or for the eye of the fan, but I did like everything to secure the win. So I think that was like the main problem. I didn't have so much like finishes in the fights. Then like my fight style wasn't too much, wasn't attractive.
Since Martin Budat is no longer on the UFC, he's no longer in the heavyweight rankings, so taking his spot in the rankings is Walter Walker. He enters the heavyweight rankings in the number 14 position. He's fighting Ryan Spann next at UFC Fight Night Rio on October 11th, looking to get his 4th heel hook victory in a row. Tyra, after his win over Park in the main event over the weekend, moved up 1 spot in the flyweight rankings, so he's ranked number 5. And Carol Hossa in the women's bantamweight rankings moves up 1 spot after her decision win over Nora Corno, so now she's number 9 at 135. It might have been a fake manager of Hamzat Chimaev, which asked $700,000 to be on stream with Aiden Ross.
Islam calls me and says, Aiden, I don't think you were talking to the real person on his team. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, this is not his manager. So Kamzat's manager, that was not a real manager, it was a fake Kamzat manager, was trying to charge me 700 bands in the pocket. Check this out though. Hold on a second. I found out the same fake manager tried to offer Convy to get Kamzat on stream for 100 bands. So how did the price go up from 100 to 700? Meanwhile, check this out though, chat. He brought you talking to Convy. He told Convy 100. He gets to Aiden 700. What?
One fight which has been added to Saturday's card. It's kind of late to be adding new fights to Saturday's card, but they added this one. Cody Brundage versus Eric McConaughey Jr. McConaughey is coming off a loss to Nursultan Ruzabov, his only fight in the UFC, and he took that on short notice, so that was a tough thing to do. Cody Brundage, it's a Cody Brundage fight, so something crazy is going to happen. Something illegal is going to happen to him. His last fight was Mansour Abdul Malik. It was a technical decision win for Mansour Abdul Malik, overturned to a draw because of illegal strikes. He also had that no contest from illegal strikes to Abdul Razak Al Hassan, and he had the DQ win from Jacob Malkoun because of illegal strikes. So he's had a win by illegal strikes, a draw by illegal strikes, and a no contest by illegal strikes. So expect more craziness on Saturday. The UFC Fight Night Perth card, which is headlined by Ulberg versus Reyes, added a couple more light heavyweight contests to the card, one being Junior Tapa versus Ibo Aslan. Aslan is coming off a loss to Billy Alakana recently, a very boring fight where neither guy did much of nothing, but Billy Alakana did a little more of nothing and got the decision. Ibo fought very uncharacteristically passive in that fight, which was very strange. Maybe he was worried that he was going to get taken down and tapped out like his last fight against Kutalaba, so maybe he fought hesitant as a result. In this fight, he doesn't have to worry about any submissions or takedowns. These guys are just going to strike. Tapa will probably be a slight favorite in this one. The loser could be out of the UFC, but we'll see what happens. But another light heavyweight contest on the card is Ivan Urslan, who's coming off a loss to Navajo Sterling. He's 0-2 in the UFC. We'll take on Jimmy Crute, who just recently fought and beat Marcin Prachnio by sub and already has his next fight lined up. Chael Sonnen thinks that Team Islam Makhachev haven't considered what they're going to do if they lose to JDM. I think the more likely scenario is he drops back down to 155 and challenges for the belt again against Taporia.
What an incredibly difficult position to put Islam in if he loses. Now you're going to have a choice. Are you going to run back to 55, which, by the way, isn't the way you left it? There's a new king. Or do you start reclaiming the ladder at 170? It's an interesting question. Not one that I believe Team Islam is considering. I believe they are expecting to win.
In this octagon of life.